Hello and welcome to another episode of Ken's Training, and today's training is going to be on window coverings. The complaint is coming through that the drapery, which is automatically remote controlled here in this room, is not working properly. The room is broken down into two sections that, if you're facing the windows, we just call this the right section, and the one over there on the left is the left section. So on the remote, they're identified by an L and an R. Now I'm going to hit the R to operate the right section so that you can observe what the problem is. If you can hear that on the camera, the motor is still trying to drive this shut. And now it's actually making a very loud squeaking sound. I'm going to hit the R again, and that cancels the signal. And this isn't very challenging, but many people, which are just the users that use the room, they just let the thing make a noise and then they call for service. And technically it should not even be doing that. Technically the way that it should be operating is that you push the button, the drapes go to their full extension, either to the closed position, the position they're at now, or the open position. They reach the end of the tract, and the motor is supposed to be able to sense that, okay, I've stopped moving, and it shuts off automatically. This actually is doing this in both the closed and the open position. Now, to fix the problem, what we need to do is, first of all, we need to check the tension on the cord. This particular cord that runs the drapery is called a cable center cord. So there's an actual metal cable inside of the what looks like a clothesline, that type of a cord, or a sash cord. There's an actual metal cable on the inside to prevent sagging and provide additional strength on these automatic blinds, drapes. So the first thing we need to do is check the tension on how much tension there is. Now we'll play around with that tension to see if we can't make it a little bit tighter, because it is obviously too loose, or there's another problem. Now the second problem could be the drive wheel. Now I can hear the motor actually working to open and close the drape, so I don't believe this is a motor issue. So there's a drive wheel that actually the sash cord goes through up and back to the drapes in order to drive the drapes. That wheel could be worn or broken and requires replacement. So the first thing we're going to check is our tension. Now I do have the cut sheet from the original manufacturer, which is SM Automatic, and this here is kind of like what we're looking at as the motor. Here's the sash cord here, and then it drives up, and here's the track where it drives. Obviously the drape is not in this pictorial, is not on the track, which is fine. Now, let me just get you a little bit better, whiter background here in case you can't see that. Right here is the actual motor itself, and this wheel is the main pulley, or the drive wheel. That wheel there is the wheel that is suspect as being the problem cause in our situation. First thing I want to check is the deflection of the sash cord from the wall. Here in the pictorial it tells me that there should be a 2 to 4 inch differential from the wall to the cord itself. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to measure that out. I did measure it, and I think we're actually within the 4 inches. And even if we are, I'm just going to play around with it and drop the motor down a little bit just to give it a little bit more tension, because I want to see if that will have an effect. But if we're in the 4 inches and I drop it down and still no result, well then pretty much I'm going to condemn the wheel, the pulley, the drive wheel, the main pulley, and I'm going to order that, and I'm going to replace that part in the hopes that this problem at that point goes away. So now we're going to take you over to show you the tension on the cord. Alright, now we want to show you kind of like what's happening here. this is the drive motor right here. Now, I did not install this. I inherited it this way, but this here is the receiver board that the remote control works off of. Now, what happens is the remote, this board is run by 24 volts. So inside this here, no, I recant. There's actually, up in the ceiling here, there's a power strip. And the power strip, there's two items plugged in. One item plugged in is to the drive motor. That's 110 volts. The second item plugged in is a transformer, where we are transforming 120 volts down to 24 volts. That 24 volt signal is coming over to this sensing switch. Now, if you look at these buttons right here, they actually correlate with the buttons that are inside this remote right here. If you want to do a zoom in on that, because this is nothing more than just a garage door opener sending a 24 volt signal. So what happens is that there's 3 wires here. Now let me see if I can't show you that. Alright, they got 2 wires coming down right here and right here. That's 24 volts coming from the transformer. Then from the transformer, it goes into this board here, and there are actually 4 wires: yellow, green, red, and black. But if you come over to the side over here, there's I believe what they're doing is they're using 3 of the 4 wires for the switching. So it's like one is to open the drive and one is to close the drive, depending upon what position was done last. So that's kind of like how this works. You would think that this would be in a cleaner looking box and not hung up like that. Not sure exactly what box that originally came in, because this is the way that I got the property when I took it over. Okay, so the first thing to solve our problem is to check the tension on the cord. Here's the cord here, and I'm going to pull it away from the wall. Now, if you can see that deflection, I'll sit there and I'll measure it from the center point. Right now it's like about 2.5. Pull it out and it doesn't even go past 4. So it's as if there's reasonable tension on that motor. But what I'm going to do, see this white knob right here? This is the holding knob to put tension on this motor. I'm going to loosen that and I'm going to drop it down. Now before I drop it down, I'm just going to take my black Sharpie here and I'm going to label a starting point so I get an idea of where I started. So go ahead and zoom in right there on that black mark right there, and that'll show you how much I drop it down, and then we'll test it out and see if it works. I'm going to loosen this up. Oh, and that knob is super hard. I got to get my channel locks. Alright, that's about the maximum I could get out of it. That is not much. That's a 1/4 of an inch deflection or differential. That's about it before I felt like it would not give me any more. So let me go ahead and run it and let's just see what happens. Go left. Okay, I'm going to hit the red button. And I don't want to go all the way back. I'm going to stop it and go forward. Let's see if this shuts off. And it did. That little 1/4 inch made a difference. Let's hit it again. Let's go fully open it and see what happens now. And we're going to see what happens when it gets to the end of the track over here now. Go ahead and change position, so just pan over here. Now let's see what happens when it gets to the end. Actually, there you go. I can't believe that the wheel did not need replacement. So on the right-hand side, we have success. We're just bringing that down the small amount that you saw. We're going to go check out the left-hand side where I know that we are experiencing a problem over there right now as well. Okay, so here we are on the left-hand side of the room. I'm going to hit the left-hand button here. You can see that red light come on when I hit it. Now let's observe what happens when the blinds come to the center section and should shut off. They don't even make it. The motor is still running. I can hear the motor. You may not hear it, but I can hear it from where I'm standing. They're not closed. The motor is still trying to drive that closed. So the next shot will be us checking the deflection on this motor. Okay, so here we are on the left-hand side of the room now, and this here is what the motor looks like. So there's your motor. You can see the receiver hanging. One interesting thing over here that I found this on the windowsill. Now it looks like this is a cover for the receiver. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a base and this is supposed to connect onto it, but it looks like this is the cover. Now I'm going to bring this up so that you can see it, but this is SM automatic, and it provides a phone number 310-559-6405, and they're in Culver City, California. So they're actually in California, which is local to us. All right, so anyways, that's the cover. And I checked the tension already, and the tension felt sloppy. It felt sloppier than the one on the right-hand side. Now, I've already marked it. I'm going to loosen that set screw up, and I'm going to try to drop it down just like the other side. Since it fixed the other side, maybe I'll get lucky and it will fix this side as well. This side is tight, so I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up with my channel lock. So I'm loose, at least finger tight loose. Okay, I'm going to try to bring that down. Okay. Not getting much out of it, but I did get about 1/4 of an inch out of it. It's wanting to pop back up there. Hold on. Really got to hold that down with some tension. Okay, there you go. Gotta zoom in on that deflection. So it looks like I went possibly 3/8 of an inch. I mean, not much in the grand scheme of things. Let's we're gonna show you the drapes now. Okay, here we are on the left-hand side. I'm gonna hit the left button. Okay, let me stop it because I want it to go to the center. Okay. I hit the button just to stop that noise. The drapes did capture go all the way in. They should have shut the motor off when they reached the closed position. They did not. Kind of like the first thing that we experienced over there. So I'm going to see if I can loosen that up and get some more out of that motor. Okay, what I did was is I loosened up the set screw, brought it down more. I couldn't get the leverage I needed from down here at the ground, so I got a 6-foot ladder to step on that to loosen it up, to put as much strength down as I could to hold it down. Now, I want you I'm going to try to put this so you can see it. Now, the first mark here is where I started from. So this black was where the first mark is. That was my starting point. Then the second line down was where this one met that one there. Now, where I'm at now is the current location. Let me show you. Okay, right about there. So that's how much I dropped it from the second drop to the third to the current position. And now we're going to show you how the drapes are responding. Okay, here we go. We're going to hit the left button. And we'll let that drive all the way in towards the center and see what happens. And that worked very well. The motor shut off. Drapes worked fully. Now we're going to hit the button again. And we'll let it go all the way to the fully open position, and we will observe the drapes to see what they do, to see if they shut the motor off without the squealing. And there you go. The motor did shut off successfully. So basically, I just wanted to say that that's pretty much it. I couldn't get any more out of it. If this tightening had not solved the problem, for sure the wheel, which still may be still bad and needing replacement, that would be the next direction I would have to go into. But this is solved the problem for now, so there you go. Thank you for watching.